Hi, I'm Nicholas Markey, physical therapist here at Beach Barbell Physical Therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina. Today I want to talk about low back pain, sciatica, and exercise. And there's a few important things I want to touch upon. First is that when someone's having low back pain or sciatica we're just referring to as kind of the often symptoms where you have pain that kind of runs down generally the back of your leg. Sometimes it goes from the back all the way down into the butt, into the back of the thigh, sometimes to the knee, sometimes past the knee, sometimes into the calf, sometimes all the way down into the foot. May or may not be associated with sometimes numbness and tingling. Okay, so we're just kind of referring to that general term. The reality with low back pain and sciatica, so there's a lot of uncertainty in what actually is going on. Okay, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's a disc, oh, it's a this, it's a that, and we really don't have a good answer for that. In certain cases where someone is having kind of more neurological symptoms, like maybe some sort of specific weakness and numbness, and oftentimes if there's maybe pain that's radiating from the back all the way past the knee, that sometimes is a little bit better indicator that maybe there is something irritating the nerve root, whether that's a disc or maybe a calcium buildup or whatever. But still, ultimately for most cases, for low back pain, for sciatica, we really have kind of no idea. We just know something's sensitive, right? Something in the back, something maybe with the nerves, there's something that's sensitive, and then the body is making you perceive pain, okay? And oftentimes this can be very first scary for a lot of people. And unfortunately, if they're told by a medical practitioner that there's XYZ bad stuff going on, that just makes it even more scary. And perhaps even maybe increasing pain, because if we think of pain as like threat, then if you increase fear, that probably increases threat, and chances are that may also increase pain. And then we go into kind of a negative health cascade where someone starts making poor decisions for their health, as in like, I'm going to stop being active, I'm going to stop exercising. Maybe they weren't even exercising to begin with, so I'm not going to start, which are really, really, really bad for their health, right? And so what I want to flip around and say, yes, there's uncertainty, but the good thing is that most pains that you're dealing with in terms of low back pain and sciatica are not something that's deadly, not something that you're going to make worse if you're active, okay? Now, certainly the symptoms can fluctuate, and we should monitor that. That would be smart, to monitor the symptoms, to really not try to make it worse or make it more pissed off, right? But still, we should move and exercise, and the fact is that you may actually help your pain if you exercise. That's the funny part. So we're told oftentimes that, oh, your back is messed up, oh, these nerves are jacked up, this blah, 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 insert, bajillion little reasons that really have minimal or have some plausibility, but really no evidence to back them up. And exercising for whatever reason can sometimes help people feel better. Now, part of that might be placebo. Placebo is just kind of your body makes you feel better for reasons that we're kind of unsure, right? Exercising may potentially help you feel better because you get those kind of flood of anti-inflammatory hormones from the muscles that when they start to work, they start to release that. So that's potential too. The endorphins kind of thing people always talk about. And exercise might help because maybe if we're thinking of threat, maybe exercise shows ourselves that we are actually more capable than we think, right? So if our system is kind of like trying to protect us, make us hurt, make us all tight, make us afraid, but then we go and do things and we move, beyond what we're currently doing, and it actually goes well or goes okay, doesn't make things worse, then perhaps we're signaling to our body that we're okay and this is okay. And then maybe our body will kind of when I say body in terms of like your brain and everything, okay, your whole thing, maybe that system will kind of let you be a little bit more free, okay? I like to think of it just like when a kid falls down and gets hurt. How does a parent react? Do they go freak out, make the kid all more afraid, and then the kid's crying forever? Or do they support them, but then help encourage them back to their activity? The kid's back to, playing within like 30 seconds usually. So we're still that same human being. So maybe exercise could be a way that we're showing ourselves that we're okay, right? And with that, generally, I'm relatively conservative in terms of when I'm working with people, in terms if they're having low back pain and sciatica. My advice is to kind of actually start purposefully easy. Start small and build slow, okay? The reason why is that you have something that your body is not happy, it's aggravated, it's pissed off, whatever. And we don't necessarily want to tick it off more, right? We want to approach it. We want to respect that your body is feeling threat, but we also want to take a little bit back of what we want. We want to move more. We want to move better. We want to be healthier. So it's kind of you got to weigh both things, right? And this generally will be, in my opinion, trying to find maybe a variation or an angle or some sort of move that hopefully that doesn't cause any pain to increase, okay? Or maybe if it does, maybe just very little bit, okay? That doesn't, again, I'm not saying the pain that someone would feel doing a move is damaging, but just if they feel a lot of pain doing a move, it's possible that you just might tick off the body more, and then that person may be, suffering from some more pain, and we don't necessarily need to do that. So if we can find maybe an exercise or movements that the body's like, that's not so bad, I'll keep my eye on you, but that's not so bad, then maybe we can gradually build that up and then gradually explore other moves and whatnot, maybe moves that the body's a little bit more, a little tentative on. So again, start small, build slow. And of course, exercise is one of the number one things you can do for your health overall. It's backed by tons of science, tons of research. Exercise is one of the best things. There's that old saying where if you could, put all the benefits of exercise in a pill and give it to somebody, that would be like $1 trillion pill or whatever, right? Now, exercise, of course, takes some time, takes some effort, takes some work. And then, of course, if someone's dealing with pain, can potentially be scary, fear that I might damage myself. It's not likely that you're going to damage yourself unless you, fall down or something, unexpectedly, or jump off, fall from a height, then yeah, you might damage yourself. But beyond that, you're probably not going to damage yourself if you're under control. And like we talked about, starting small and then building slow. And that could apply to, someone having, new low back pain, old low back pain after they've had surgeries, sciatica, pain going down to their butt, pain going out of their leg. Really applies to all those scenarios. Now, I will also try to promote strength training, because strength training itself, under the umbrella of exercise, has tons of benefits. Building up your muscle, building up your bones, building up your brain. And I also really think it builds up confidence really well, because if we're talking about reassuring that our body, we are okay, what better way to do that than giving someone like a heavier weight or heavyish weight and then them lifting it and moving it. And it's like, oh wow, I'm actually kind of strong. Maybe I am gonna be okay. And then over time, just boop, 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 boop. Remember, we're gonna build slow, build up the capacity of this person to do things. And then maybe if life is here and they started here, but you've built up their capacity here without, necessarily pissing off their pain more, and maybe the pain just stays the same or gets better, hopefully, but they're way stronger, well, then life is going to be less likely to irritate them, right? So if they were here and life is kind of bugging the crap out of them because it's right at what they can handle, well, what if you can get them way up here, right? And with that, again, finding those variations and angles that maybe work for the person. Again, I kind of like put it into different buckets. Like there's exercises that are green and awesome bucket because they just feel totally fine, and maybe those are exercises that have nothing to do with the low back or the sciatica. Maybe those are arm exercises and we're like, hey, those ones feel great, let's rock those, let's make you as strong as possible with those, right? And then maybe you got ones in the middle, kind of the yellow bucket, where they're like, those are exercises that maybe you feel a little bit of pain, or you just maybe they're tolerable, but you kind of feel a little bit of something, so you're just a little wary of them. So maybe those are ones we still try and use, but maybe those are ones we're just a little bit more cautious with. And then you got like red bucket ones where you do the move or exercise and it's like, God, that's killing me. Those ones we just maybe not worry about for now, but every so often we'll go check that bucket and see maybe we can move them into the yellow and move them into the green. Okay, so you don't have to do any one single exercise. Even with strength training, there's not a single one exercise. That's why I like to try them and play. I tell people, like, let's play. Bringing up that kid thing again. Hey, let's go play around a little bit. And let someone expose their body to movements and resistance. And like I said, a lot of people don't realize this, but you may actually feel temporarily reduced pain, like probably from mostly placebo, from exercise. But here's the thing. You could get that, like a lot of people think, oh, I got to stretch, or I got to get a massage, or I got to get this or that, thing. Those things are okay, and they might produce a temporary relief, probably placebo as well. If the exercise is also placebo, but is also building up your capacity, well, it's like a twofer. You're getting more than one thing out of that. So that's where I'll lean to exercise, because oftentimes I'll find people will actually feel better with the exercise, and not just feel better, maybe like feeling less pain, but also feel like, wow, more confident in themselves, more like they are themselves, right? And that could be huge. And then the last thing is, ultimately, I like to kind of talk about the exercise and strength training. It's like your way of preparing yourself for your daily life and your work and all the things you like to do, right? So we talk about the capacity. So somebody has, different things they do. They do this, they do this, they do this, and these are just different levels of like effort that the body, that it's applying to the person, right? But maybe their capacity is like here, and all these things are right here. And so like everything they do kind of irritates them. And the capacity probably isn't static, it probably does this, right? So some days the capacity might be low, and so some days maybe just the daily life really hits it hard and it just is really tough. So if we think of like your life, your work, all that is like your sport, then we're gonna build up that capacity, okay? And that's why I'm a physical therapist, and the highest value treatment, one of the highest value treatments I can provide somebody is exercise prescription and dosage, okay? Education and supervision with exercise, as well as reassurance and education, which they all kind of blend into each other. Then I don't mind being seen as like a medical personal trainer. I really don't, because I know, one, the benefits of exercise are vast. It's like taking the most awesome vitamin you can take. And obviously if someone's dealing with low back pain or sciatica, then we have to kind of balance, how we input that vitamin. And so that's where potentially my expertise can come in, and my guidance from like a third party, watching the person do things and giving them advice and maybe changing things if needed, is one of the best things I can provide to somebody, especially because yes, someone may see me as for physical therapy over a certain time frame while they're trying to learn what to do and gradually build up and become more confident, all that good stuff. But it's something that they can take away with them. They can, when they're done with me, they can go on and keep working on those things, and now have a better understanding of how to take care of it, which is why I like to see people on the good and the bad days, because yes, the good days we can maybe really push it and really work hard and do some good stuff, but on the bad days, that's where we can really learn what can we handle when things are at their roughest, right? And then oftentimes I find that people could actually do more than they thought, and then sometimes I actually even feel better from doing some of this stuff. Maybe we turned down the weight, maybe we decreased the reps or the sets or something, or changed up a few things. But either way, they were still able to do something, which is like a huge confidence booster for somebody to realize that, wow, even on my worst day, I am able to still do something. I'm still like made of something, right? I can still be strong to some degree. So again, thinking of it like I'm going to prepare my life, prepare my body. I'm going to prepare myself, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, for my life. My life is my sport, right? I play my sport, 24 hours a day, or maybe 16 hours a day. Hopefully you're getting 8 hours of sleep. And I'm going to be as prepared as possible for, the gravity that's pushing me down every day, the stress of life, just any sort of random thing that may happen, right? A car comes flying out of nowhere and you got to, duck out of the way and run. You want to be prepared, right? You never know what could happen in life. So being as prepared as possible in terms of our capacity is crucial. And again, that's why I don't care if I'm seen or called like a medical personal trainer. I am a physical therapist. I am licensed through the state to practice physical therapy, and of course I could talk about what the heck what does that even mean, right? That's its own topic here, but ultimately, I want you, if you're suffering from low back pain, if you're suffering from sciatica, I want you to realize that there are things you can do. You can move, you can get strong, and we just need to figure out what would work for you, and how we can progress you and with your condition, okay? So with that, I thank you for watching, and I'm going to keep these videos coming because these are topics that are really important to me. This is like what I love to do. This is my passion. I want to get rid of the myth and the stigma about the back and sciatica, that you can't do anything, that you got to rest forever and you can't lift. And it's just like, it's insane. And I'm sorry if you've been told that, because honestly I feel like you've had the wool pulled over your eyes, okay? And it doesn't need to be that way. You can move, we can get you moving, we can get you strong, even when you're still dealing with low back pain and sciatica. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me know what you think. You got any questions, comments, whatever, love to hear them. Love to try to help you out any way I can. And then of course, if you need the physical therapy that I'm talking about, the kind that's going to get you strong, get you moving, and get you confident, just reach out to me. We can set something up. All right, bye.